Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by Kathy. And on the line, we have Tonya, that crazy Disney lady from YouTube. Hey, Tonya.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Tonya.
I'm doing all right. We're just sitting in front of the TV waiting for Saturday night for your live stream to come on.
Exactly.
So we thought we would call
Oh
you.
my gosh. I feel like I'm so out of the loop right now because of the holidays. I haven't been out streaming as I usually do. So I'm so looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I'm sure.
you know, the thing with live streaming, and I know Kathy and I do this a lot, because you come on Saturday evenings between 5 and 6
And Wednesdays.
And Wednesdays as well. On Saturdays, we'll start getting ready like around 4 o'clock. We got the TV on in the living room, the TV on in the bedroom, just waiting for your live stream to pop on. It's
Well,
kind of.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I think a lot of people do that. Kathy told me something that I thought was totally crazy about you, which is appropriate since you're that crazy Disney lady. Kathy told me that you went to Walt Disney World for the first time when you were 29 years old.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
So here we are a year later. You're now 30, and you're doing this live now. No.
Yes,
She looks
exactly.
30. She looks 30.
No, that's an interesting thing. And what I find interesting about that you didn't go to Disney World until you were 29 years old, and you're from Kentucky, so it wasn't like you were going to Disneyland either. And you have this love of Disney. And most people that are really in the Disney, especially vloggers and live streamers, started going as a kid. And that childlike experience that they have, it's kind of like, it's nostalgic to go back to the parks. But with you, it's totally different. So how did you fall in love with Walt Disney World at 29 years old?
Well, it was whenever I became a mother at 25, and my husband was active duty military. We were stationed in Germany. There was no television. I joined the Disney Movie Club. Are you familiar with that? Like
Yeah.
a long time. I don't know if they still do it, but
I
there
remember
was a
that.
Disney Movie Club,
Yeah.
and they will send you like 5 Disney movies, and you just had to commit to buying some more. Anyway, however that. And we just started collecting all the VHS Disney movies. And when my husband was deployed, Mariah and I, Mariah's my oldest child. She was the only child at that time. And we just watched all the Disney movies. And she was really little, so we fell in love with the movies first.
What
Yeah.
was her favorite movie as a little girl?
Oh my gosh. Probably Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It came out on VHS right around the same time like that we were over there. So that was a big one that she watched all the time.
Because your daughter is like a year older than our daughter. Our daughter's almost 21, and Mariah's what, 22?
Yes.
And yeah, Emily loved The Little Mermaid. I mean, she watched it every day. Was Mariah like that? Did she have like
Oh, yeah.
a favorite movie
Oh, yeah.
every day?
Yep. And she also watched The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
She sure did.
It's cute.
So you were watching all the Disney movies, and then you finally make it to Walt Disney World?
Yep. We left Germany and got stationed in New York. And I was like, now that we're back in the States, it's time for us to take a trip to Disney World.
Yeah.
And some of my family members met me here in Orlando, and we all came down and we took our first trip to Disney World. And I'm going to try not to cry when I tell y'all this story. So Mariah was just 4, almost 5, and we were in the park and we were completely lost, had no idea what we were doing because we didn't plan ahead, which I always recommend everyone plan ahead. But we just came. We were like, we're going to Disney World. And we just flew down here, and we were here and didn't have a clue what we were doing, just kind of walked around the park all day. And she was like, but Mom, I never got to meet Cinderella. I was like, great, the park's closing in about an hour. We have to try to find Cinderella. I'm like running all around the park trying to find Cinderella. And finally, we probably had like 10 minutes left before the park closed. I found a cast member and I explained to them, I was like, we've been living in Germany. We fell in love with the Disney movies. We came all the way here and we haven't been able to find Cinderella. And that's all she wanted to do is meet Cinderella.
Aw, that's so cute.
We got a magic moment. The meet and greets were all closed for the day. You know how that works.
Yeah,
The characters weren't even out anymore. And the cast member said, come with me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And that's where the whole story gets really emotional because,
That's awesome.
well, we got to have like a personal meet and greet with Cinderella and Susie Mouse.
Wow.
And if anybody knows me, you know my love for Cinderella.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all because of that moment. And that's whenever I was hooked.
Yeah, that really is a great story.
Yeah, that's some Disney magic.
Absolutely.
But people listening, don't expect to get a personal meeting after hours with Cinderella.
No.
No,
That's
is
very
Disney
unusual.
magic.
That's very unusual.
And then after that, how far along was it till you came back to Disney after that time?
Well, after that, we started coming every year. Our very first trip was that trip, 2004.
Yeah.
And then we came every single year. Then it started to become 2 times a year.
Yeah.
And then if I could fit it in, it was 3 times a year. So like we were completely hooked Mariah and the rest of the fam is not really on board like we are, but they would come just because they're humorous, I guess.
Your daughter's a cast member, which I think is so cool that it was a part of her life from an early age and now she works there. So that must mean a lot to you.
It really does. And she is like living her best life. I think that it's wonderful because she just loves it so much, and you can tell, like, she really enjoys it. You know, it's not like, oh my gosh, I have to go to work. It's just like she gets so excited, and just recently she was placed in Galaxy's Edge, and yeah, she's now a huge Star Wars fan. That was big. Well, she's still at Launch Bay, but her training at Galaxy's Edge is now complete. So you might see her running around with Chewie or the Stormtroopers.
How cool.
So you went from going to Disney 2 or 3 times a year to going 2 or 3 times a week. Since you live stream twice a week. So you moved to Orlando. And did you move to Florida for Disney World, or was it just like a lucky coincidence?
Well, you know, we always wanted to move here. My husband and I both. Like, we would come here on vacation, whether it was Walt Disney World or if we were going to the beaches, because we just love Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we always wanted to relocate here, but life kind of got in the way all the time, you know. It was his military career, the kids' school, or my dad got sick, or just like it was always something. And when Mariah was at University of Kentucky, we found out about the Disney College program. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have to apply for this. And so she had to wait until her first semester had completed, and then you can apply. So she applied, and everyone was so like telling us all this stuff. Like, we were hearing nobody ever gets in on the first try. So if you don't get accepted, just try again next semester, or just making us feel like it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
All this negative feedback about it. They normally don't take freshmen, and they don't do this. Well, out of 60,000 applications, my daughter was one of the 6,000 selected.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So when she got accepted to the college program and moved down here, she moved down here and told us she loves it and she's never coming back to Kentucky. Almost like all the stars aligned, and it just happened. We were able to move here.
So you're here in Florida. You're right down the road because you're in Orlando from Walt Disney World. How did you end up live streaming?
Oh my gosh, that's a funny story, because if you talk to anybody in my family, I'm the least technical person ever. I mean, like, even when working the TV and the remote control, I'm like, they always say, how tech savvy are you, Mom? They make fun of me all the time because I don't know how to work technology. I knew how to work my phone, and I know how to do Facebook. So I would be in the parks, and I would go live on my personal Facebook page, just so like all my friends and family back in Kentucky could see like what I'm doing. And I didn't do it very often, just every once in a while I'd go live, like, oh my gosh, look at this, we're on Main Street, you know, this is what we're doing. And I randomly got a message on Facebook from a guy named Ian, and he owns Streaming the Magic. And he sends me this message, and he's like, I've noticed you go live on Facebook, and I feel like you're a natural. Would you be interested in working with Streaming the Magic and going live in the parks for our channel? And I replied by, is this a joke? That was my exact reply.
Yeah.
I was like, is this a joke? He said, no, I'm so serious.
Oh, my.
But it sounds like a joke. Did you want to go to Disney World for us all the time? Do you want to come on? You know, it sounds like it sounds like a crazy thing.
I was like, you got to be kidding me.
And get paid. Real? Oh, my goodness.
You want me to go live and you're going to pay me?
To go to Walt Disney World.
After a longer conversation with them, I agreed to it. We said, let's do a trial run, because I was a nervous wreck. They had 50,000 people on their Facebook page. And I'm like,
wow.
You got to be kidding me. I'm used to talking to like just my friends and family, not all these people. So it went really well. And he offered me the job. And I did that for about 6 months. Things just didn't work out. And whenever I left Streaming the Magic, I was like, there are so many people that I have a connection with, like that I have been talking to every day. And so I was like, I'm just going to start doing my own channel. That's how that Crazy Disney Lady ladies started.
And when did you start your Facebook group? Now you have two Facebook groups, right? You have one for that crazy Disney lady, and then you have an annual pass holder group.
That crazy Disney lady is my Facebook group that
Right.
I started whenever, I don't know, just like whenever I started the YouTube channel. I also put up like that crazy Disney lady on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just because, that's what you're supposed to do. I don't really know how to work all those different things. I do know how to work Facebook though. The annual pass holder group is not my personal page. It's me and 3 other ladies that run that page. So,
Okay.
It's our page. It's not my page. So we've grown to 33,000 members of
That's
our
amazing.
annual pass holder page. It's so fun. I love it.
So you're live streaming now every Wednesday, every Saturday. When you go to the parks, do you just show up or do you plan things out?
Most of the time I try to have somewhat of a plan of what I'm going to do. Not always. I'm one of those people that like I might have a plan, but then, oh my gosh, something else sounds more interesting. And I'm just like, squirrel. And I head that way.
Yeah.
So you never know, but I usually know what park I'm going to at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe not all the plans that I had in mind will work out because, it's live. You never know what's going to happen. The ride could be down or it could be super crowded. The line is long. If the ride goes down, then you get a multiple experience. Just like policy changed. And last week they do this, but this week they don't do that anymore. Like there's always something that could throw a wrench in the plans. Whenever you're live, you don't know. But for the most part, I do try to have somewhat of a plan.
Which of the parks is your favorite park?
Definitely Magic Kingdom, without a doubt. And I have to tell you that Hollywood Studios is really growing on me.
Yeah.
I think it's because Mariah works there.
I love Hollywood Studios. We were just there, and I love it at night, and I think it's one of the best parks at night to be at.
Yeah, the way that they did
It's
the
beautiful.
holiday decor this year at Hollywood Studios was, in my opinion, like amazing.
Yeah, no, it was.
So
They
it really
did a good
gives
job.
you a really good feeling, a nice vibe over there. And now with Galaxy's Edge open, not to mention Rise of the Resistance, like that whole thing is just bringing Hollywood Studios alive for me. So
Well, I wanted to ask you because you just started watching all the Star Wars movies recently, which you had never seen before, which is crazy
I've
to
never
me.
seen Never seen
Star-
I told Brian he couldn't believe it.
never seen a Star Wars movie other than A New Hope.
That's
That's the only one I
insane.
ever saw, and that's because I watched it as a child.
Which
And
is
my
your
little
favorite
brother was a huge fan.
so
That's
far?
crazy.
What's your favorite? Because you've seen the first 6 episodes.
I have seen the first 6 in Rogue One. I guess if I had to choose a favorite so far, it's going to be that ultimate love story in the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
It was
When-
so good. I
It
was
is
so
very good.
invested in that, in
It's
their
good.
love.
That's
and
when Anakin becomes Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
And they give
Yeah.
up the baby. Yeah, that's a good one, Tanya. I like that
Oh,
one
it was
too.
so good. I
It
was
is
like
good.
totally on the edge of my seat, freaking out the whole time. I didn't know if I wanted to smack him or hug him. I was just like, yeah, that one for me gave me so much emotion. So I'm going to go with that one.
So what do you think of Rise of the Resistance? Do you appreciate it more that you've seen the movies? Or, I know it's an amazing ride.
Okay, so whenever I rode Rise of the Resistance, I don't think I had seen any of the Star Wars movies yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Same with
I don't think
same
so.
with the Smugglers One, right? You hadn't seen.
I hadn't seen any of the movies yet. Nope.
Okay.
I'm brand new to the
Yeah.
movies. Like I watched 1, 2, 3 all in one day.
Wow.
You're coming late to everything in life, Tanya. Disney World at 29,
I know.
Better late than never.
Star Wars
Better
at
late than
30.
never.
Better
That's
late than
right.
never. But you know what? I think it's kind of nice because she has a different perspective and a different appreciation as opposed to somebody who's like known these things and watched them over and over and over again. It's like new, it's fresh.
Yeah.
So it's different, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, so your favorite park is Magic Kingdom, but is there a park you really don't care for as much? What's your least favorite park?
I couldn't say any of them are my least favorite because I love them all, but
Yeah.
I will say that I frequent Animal Kingdom the least. And
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think maybe it's because it's further out on the other side.
What is your favorite part about live streaming and what is your least favorite part about live streaming?
The number one thing that I love about live streaming is the messages that I get from viewers telling me that I made their day. It's the people who are in the hospital or, people that have gotten older and now they're in a wheelchair or they're sick and they can't come like they used to on their own.
Yeah, I watched you once when I was in the emergency room. I was watching one of your live streams. on a Wednesday and I was in the ER, and the doctor who was taking care of me said, "What are you watching?" And I said, "Oh, my friend, she's live streaming from Disney." So I totally appreciate that because I'm disabled, and you and I have talked about that, and
Yes.
I don't get to go to the parks nearly enough. And watching those live streams, it really does make you feel like you're there. But what's your least favorite part about it?
Well, the weather.
Yeah, I know it gets super hot.
Especially in the summertime and it's super hot, your equipment crashes, things like that. That's the main thing that I don't like. It's just like
And it gets so hot in Orlando.
technical problems
Yeah.
and things like that.
You are right. There's a lot of people that can't make it to Disney World. It is so expensive if you're
Yeah.
not here in Florida. It's expensive if you're in Florida, really, to buy a daily ticket. And it's so cost prohibitive for so many people to go to the parks, which is unfortunate. I mean, I remember when it was $12 to get in.
Oh, you're going way
It
back.
went up to $18.
That's incredible.
It went up to $18, and I was like, "This, I can't believe." What are
When
they
I
out of
was
their
in
minds?
college, Tanya, it was $25 when I in the
That's
90s.
incredible.
When I was in
Don't
college,
tell your age like that, girl.
When I was a kid, it was we had the tickets. We had the little ticket pack.
Yeah,
that
the
you
ticket
would
booths
buy,
inside the park.
and you
yeah.
go and you
Well,
get
there
a
was
ticket.
also a time you could buy a brand new car for about $10,000-$12,000.
Not while I was driving. You know what I mean? So when I
Yeah.
see, but you know, the prices are pretty high for a lot of people. It is out of the realm of affordability, unfortunately, for a lot of people. And I think live streams like yours, like that crazy Disney lady on YouTube, it gives people an opportunity for all kinds of reasons. They wouldn't be able to go to the parks to get to experience it. You're with a group of people that are having fun. And I enjoy watching your live stream. Do you watch a lot of other vloggers that are at the parks?
I try to watch as much as I can. I'm a really busy mom. That's why I can't commit to my own channel as much as other YouTubers do.
Mhm.
Right now, I can only commit like a couple of days a week to the channel.
Yeah.
I've been homeschooling my boys for a little while now. I am actually trying to work on doing some more things in 2020. Which I haven't gotten that all figured out just yet. But if I do have downtime, yes, I'm always watching. I'm always watching. I love the live streams better than the vlogs just because I love the interaction.
Yeah. Well, I like that too. I mean, I like both, but with the live streams, everything's happening right then, and you never know what's going to happen. And another thing I've noticed, like Tonya will be streaming, and she'll say to the people in the stream, "What should I go on next? What should I do next?" And the people watching will tell you, "Go on this ride, go on that ride." So it's very interactive, which you don't get with the recorded vlogs at all. There's other than people leaving comments. There's a lot of interaction, and that's what's so fun about it.
Are you at the point now, though? Can you go to the parks without live streaming? I mean, are you so used to?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is that hard for you? Do you have that urge to let me just turn my camera on because I want to bring everybody with me?
Yeah.
Do you feel that
No.
urge sometimes? No.
Sometimes. Now, every once in a while, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have my days where I share Disney with everyone else, but then I just really like my personal time there as well. And I usually have my kids with me when I'm there.
Do you ever go just by yourself, no streaming, and just to enjoy the park completely solo?
I do. I do a lot.
That must be fun.
It really is. I really do. And especially during the Christmas time, it's like I've gone to Christmas parties and just sat on Main Street
And
and
just
never
watch
even
everything.
left Main Street.
Oh,
It just brings me such joy.
I totally can get that. I could go to Magic Kingdom and never leave Main Street and be totally happy.
Yep,
It's my
that's me
favorite
too. I
part,
can
yeah.
sit in the rocking chairs or just sit on the curb. I've done it so many times. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, find Tonya on YouTube, That Crazy Disney Lady. And Tonya live streams every Wednesday and every Saturday. That Crazy Disney Lady on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe, all right? Hey, Tonya, thanks for your time, and it was great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Brian and Kathy. You
Thank
guys
you.
know I love you to death. I
We love you
appreciate it
too,
so
Tonya.
much.